welcome you, all distinguished guests from Indigenous population, partners and donors, the media fraternity and friends of Indigenous people who are represented in this 5th edition conference with the theme of strengthening Indigenous women's land tenure rights and protection of unregistered community land in the framework of Community Land Act 2016 that is being hosted here in Isiolo County by Samburu Women Trust. The heroic of Indigenous women population for being resilient of the challenges affecting women, forging the beginning of pastoralist women solidarity in a fragment counties by wars, human rights abuses, religious extremism, poor governance due to lack of democracy, and above all, the scramble for our natural resources, which is triggering conflict and insecurity.
Let me appreciate some critical barriers to Indigenous women's empowerment. Over the years, women have been denied access to control and use of land and other productive resources. The barriers are built and reinforced by various environments. The traditional barriers have also existed, but is not really a formidable force. Appropriate education systems, equitable and fair public administrations, and sustained effective advocacy and promotion can restructure the traditional attitudes. More significantly, inadequate legal framework and ineffective implementation of the existing laws at the national and local levels is a critical barrier. There is need for more gender-centered laws with clear implementation roadmaps whose refusal and implementation will hold the doer personally responsible.
So the issue of land in Isiolo, I think it's a bit critical. And also it's a bit difficult to understand because you get in town, you can get a plot like this now, you can, the 3 people can own it or even more. And something funny, you can have a document, I have a document, and maybe the other one have a document. So it's hard for you to really get the real owner. So I think the 3 people will be the owners now. So we have that problem, and I think the government must take action to ensure that they solve that problem before also we go for what they call titling. Particularly the pastoralists never understand the importance of land unless they are grazing their land, they grazing land, which they only migrate in seasons, that's the dry season and wet season. But for now, if women get this opportunity to understand more of the importance of the land and also be involved in terms of the ownership of the land, I think we can get a change, because they are the people, at least in fact, when even pastoral migrate, they leave them behind, especially in the settlement place, for the school kids and other things. And I think for that time, if they came up, if now we are trying to show them the importance of the land, I think they can own a land, and I think they will bring a change in that case.
In Tiati, for instance, women are not given chance to own land. Women are not given chance to even participate in public participation forums where issues of land is being discussed. This is very sad because you see women in their own capacity have been excluded from issues of decision making, from issues of expressing themselves and what they feel like it is their right. And this in a very bad way has affected the issue of community land ownership.
A lot of sensitization inahitajika, na mambo ya land in Tana River is a forgotten topic. Kabisa hakuna mtu anajadili. Tuko na a lot of historic land injustices huko, na inachangiwa nafikiri kwa sababu ya clashes ambazo ziko Tana River kwa wingi. Ardhi iko ya kutosha, lakini kina mama ama wazee wetu hawajajiandikisha ama hawajajiregister as community land, ama hata mtu binafsi hajaandikisha land. Na hii ni kwa sababu watu wengi hawaelewi umuhimu wa kuweza kuandikisha land.
Nimekuja kugundua ya kwamba sisi kina mama tumenyanyaswa sana na wazee wetu, hawatuhusishi katika mikutano yote kuhusu mambo ya ardhi, ama hatuna ruhusa ya kumiliki ardhi. Lakini leo nimejua ya kwamba katika sheria tuko na haki kama wanadamu wengine.
People with disability have been relegated to the back seat. They still struggle with a lot of things, and one of the major things is land. They are never involved when it comes to land rights for them. Simply because most of the time their other rights have been taken away, and they take a lot of time fighting for basic things, and they forget about this one issue of land. I think it is time we as stakeholders in the special education sector, the Ministry of Lands, the county governments, it's time we should join together with the persons with disability to sensitize them, to capacity build them, so that they realize that they too have a stake in matters of land. I want to pose a challenge to the elites in our pastoral communities, stakeholders in government. Persons with disabilities are just differently able. They have the potentials that you do. They can be able to do things that we cannot be able to do. They think straight. Let's give them an opportunity to be part and parcel of the process for fighting for our community land. And let's allow them to own land just like any other. Let's allow them to inherit land. Let's allow them to be, because they too deserve justice and they have rights.
Nimesaidika kwa sababu nimeweza kujifundisha sheria ambazo ninawezaenda kutumia kuhamasisha wamama wajue haki zao kuhusiana na mambo ya mashamba. Ngawaje kweli iko na challenges. Mimi kama mama ambaye ni mtetezi sana siogopi, lakini ni vizuri wakati nimekuwa empowered kama leo nitakuwa nazielewa sheria zingine ambaye pengine hapo nyuma sikuwa nazielewa, ama hapo mbeleni sikuwa naielewa vizuri.
Nimekuwa na hofu mingi sana juu ya land yetu kwa sababu sijui kama tuko private land ama ya mtu ama community land, na ile kidogo private tunaweza ya mtu ile tunaye personal tunaweza ambiwa hata ni ya community muondoke ama ni private public lands muondoke. Kwa hivyo ni jukumu yetu sasa ama yangu na mwenzangu mwenye tuko hapa kwenda kuhamasisha watu yetu ili tuende tuangalie kama tujue kama turifu land yetu juu ya land, tuone kama tuko safe, tuko in the right place. Alafu ndio kutoka hapo tujue if the land is not registered, if our land is not registered, basi tuhamasishe watu yetu ile ya private iwe ya private, ile ya community iwe na ikuwe identified na ikuwe registered.
Kindly women, let us come out of our cocoons, let us address our issues, let us always go and grab those positions that you are supposed to have. Remember, every woman is a leader in their own spaces, and so let us act together accordingly and with one accord. Let us move forward, speak on the behalf of our lands so that we can also own these lands, and in case of a benefit that comes with the Community Land Act, we can also be beneficiaries because we belong to this community that sired us and we are here to stay.
We want to empower women on a land tenure, and I feel it is really important for the nation and for every county and for every community to empower women on land tenure, because as the Constitution says, every person has a right to own land, and every person has a right to have information or to be communicated to concerning land or any other resource in this country or in any place that somebody comes from. So I feel it's really very important for our cultures, our counties, in every perspective and every meeting, for women to be given a platform to be able to speak for themselves, and even for them to be given slots in jobs, to be given slots in the political arena, and also for them especially to be given information, to be empowered with information, to know especially what the Constitution says about owning land, what the Constitution says about the woman, and what the Constitution says about the girl child, so that in the future women will have a place, because you know women have the power and have the will, but it's only the information that is lacking and being given a platform to be able to speak for themselves.